right, now we're going to start the last lesson, lesson 4 for the graphite pencil portraits. So what we're going to do today is the rest of her body and her little sleeves here that she's wearing her outfit, and the background. It's going to be gray. So let's begin. So first what I'm going to do, okay, let's see what we got. Make sure I can see it good. Okay, I'm going to start coloring in the, let's see if that's the one I want. I think so. Start coloring in her arms. They're pretty simple because there's not a lot of detail like on a face has the mouth and nose and eyes. The body is just kind of nice, smooth for little girls anyway, little boys. Not a lot of challenges here. Her little outfit here will have some challenges because it's very a lot of wrinkles and different things going on with it. But her body here is pretty simple. You just kind of shade it in like you did the bigger part of her face. So let me get all this in. This is kind of outlined, but it's because I don't really like to outline, but I'm outlining this because the skin is a bit darker. Okay, so I'm gonna lightly start coloring in, and see it's kind of rough the way I'm doing this. I'm gonna leave some of it white. It's rounder on the edge like a cylinder when you're doing that. And it's a lot darker under here. This is probably going to be too dark, but I'll just lighten it later. Now what I'm noticing here, which I like, there is a shadow line. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a shadow line right there. So I'm going to draw that. You can kind of see the edge. This casts a shadow this way. And then there's kind of a bump where that is. And then it's kind of straight down, a little bit darker near her shoulder, and it gets a lot lighter as you go down. Now that is too dark, but I am going to shade that in. I'll use my blending stump and eraser and get it a lot lighter. But we basically want the main shadows going on in there. And it's very dark under here, under her chin. So we're going to do that. Make that pretty dark. Because that's totally, there's no light shining there where her neck and chin hide it from the casting of the light on the right. And it's a little bit darker here, but then it gets lighter and her chin's a little darker. So we're going to do it like that. And then this side of her neck is darker. I'm going to color this in her chin and face is a little bit darker than the neck here. The neck has shadowing, but it's not quite as dark as her face. Okay, so now we're going to do it over here. It's really kind of dark near her blouse. So I'm going to just kind of darken that in. And then there's kind of a definite shadow line right there. And more shaded here. Because her arm is blocking her chest a little bit there. I'm going to try to fade this out, make it real light. Because her skin isn't totally white. But when I blend it in, it'll kind of darken everything. Okay. And then she's got her arm right here. Her blouse goes up here. And what is that line? Oh, that's a hairline. I'm like, what is that? Okay, so this is part of her arm. We're going to kind of do a distinct line here because her arm is very smooth. I'm going to leave it there. So since it kind of cuts off there, that's where I'm going to leave it. Darker under here. Like if you ever practice drawing cylinders, you know, the center is typically lighter and then the edges are darker. I'm leaving this really white because the light is shining right here on her right. Okay, I'm kind of happy with that. So now, even though I haven't done her blouse, I'm going to finish her skin. So right now, I'm going to blend. I'm going to get a clean one. This is a little dirty, so I'm going to clean it by using my sandpaper. Okay, kind of brush off the extra paper. Now, what I'm going to do is when I blend this, I'm going to start. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom in. I think I can. Okay. I'm going to start where it's lighter and start kind of rubbing it until I get to the darker edge. Let it just kind of continue on. And I'm going to leave it a weird line here on the edge where I'm not going to put any graphite pencil. Okay, so this is dark. I'm using the tip of this because I want it more of a point as I'm doing this line. And it's really dark here, and I will lighten it quite a bit. It kind of gives you the gist here. And it's a little darker here. Like I said, this is super dark, but as you saw earlier, I kind of erase it. These are just to give me a guide of what I'm doing. My daughter is a great artist, and she doesn't do all the steps I do because she just does it great the first time, or I kind of have to. There's a weird looking thing here, and that almost looks like a fingerprint. But when I erase more and blend more, I'm hoping to get rid of that, but at least I'm aware of it there. I'm going to have to somehow erase that. That sometimes happens on your papers. I must have touched it with my thumb, not knowing, and made a greasy spot. That's why I said you do not want to blend with your fingers, because you'll get weird things later when you're trying to blend your graphite together. Okay. Probably happened when I was trying to hand dust off all the pencil erasers earlier. Okay. Let's see. I'm kind of not liking that. I need to bring that in more. There, that's better. I like that better. Okay, so I'm just kind of blending it in so there's not a distinct line there. I made it all look gray, but like I said, that's okay. I'm going to go back and fix that. Okay, so now I'm going to use my, I don't know if I like it that white. Let's blend that in a little. It is lighter here, but it's a little too much. Okay. Now, I got it a little too dark on her chin. Even though I want it dark there, it still needs to be light right there. So I'm going to fix that. In fact, that almost looks like a line. I don't want a line there. This almost looks like a sharp line, and it doesn't do that. So I'm going to get a clean stump, kind of rub it, kind of smooth it out, because her chin isn't shaped like that. Okay, now I'm using my kneaded eraser. I'm going to clean it, and I'm going to, let me push this up a little. Okay, now I'm going to touch it, get it a lot lighter. And right here, I'm going to be super careful and not get her chin, because I'm kind of happy with where that is right now. Okay, so you see I'm getting it a whole lot lighter. And I'm going to have to go back and do some hairs that are on top of her skin right there. Okay, Now, as you can see, that shadow looks more like a shadow now instead of just some white line. And I'm going to go back and really make the areas that I want white stand out more with this kneaded eraser. And I'm rubbing it now. Kind of get those highlights in. It's a lot lighter right here under her chin. And it's a lot lighter right here. And if you, I don't know if you could tell, but I was kind of making this really kind of flat and skinny so I can get these little areas right here without erasing everything else. I don't want to do that. And it's under here on her chest, so I'm going to keep there. Okay. And this looks like there's too many lines right there. Okay. Now, up here is extremely white. I'm going to clean that up. Make it gradually come down here. Now, I'm not worrying about her hair. I can go back and do her hair. All right. That looks pretty good. Now, I'm going to use my 6B on the areas that are super dark, which not a whole lot is super dark on this, but where her arm meets her chest there is a little bit darker because of the shadow. And then up here, where her lace begins, it's a lot darker right here. I'm going to color that in. And a little bit darker right there. And it is dark here, which I'm okay with that. But it's super dark, really dark, where her neck bends there. So I'm going to do that. And then it has shadow on this side, a little bit of shadow on that side. Now her chin and neck, I brought it in a little more. I'm going to color that. Okay, and it looks really black where that outfit is. So I'm really going to put some pressure on that. Color that in. It's kind of a ridge there where that lace is. I guess it's lace, looks like it. The ruffles. Okay, and then under her arm, it's really dark right there. And I'm going to just kind of lightly color it where the shading is. And let's see, this looks like it's a little dark right here. Okay. All right, now with that, I'm going to blend those dark areas in. That one's a little too dirty. Let me go with the smaller one. And I'm going to continue out to where it just kind of looks more natural. And I got that a little too dark, so I'm going to go back and actually just use this eraser because her skin's a lot lighter right there. There. Okay. Now where's my thing? Here it is. Okay, now I'm going to keep blending this. And this. I'm going to pretend like those hairs aren't there. Okay. I'm happy with that, except it's kind of dirty right there. All right. Now let's do... I'm actually doing what I said I never do, is work left to right. I'm working right to left. But oh well. Sometimes you just improvise. I'm just trying not to have my hand touch the picture to make it smudge and smear. Okay. And I'm going to do under here. Okay. And I'm kind of being on the side of this, the flat side, to really blend it. I'm not doing little pointed areas, I'm doing big areas of her skin. So I kind of just want to blend that whole area in. Now all of this area on her neck looks like it's kind of this, almost the same color. So I'm going to carry my I'm going to keep rubbing it down here. Now some of it is a little lighter. Like this area is definitely darker. So we're going to keep it darker. Okay, now I'm going to blend in on this side. Do her arm so it doesn't look like a line there. This is a lot darker here. I think I'm going to go with my pencil and darken that edge in a little bit. Make that lace pop. Because it is darker here. The shadow is definitely on this side. Okay, but I think I'm going to leave it at that. Because then what picks up on my blending stump, I can continue and not use any more lead. Just use what I have down here. Okay. This shadow is kind of a challenge because it's darker and then it turns lighter. A little bit different than some of these things. Okay. All right, I kind of like that. All right, now I'm going to do the lace. And right now, since it's little tiny lines, I'm going to just use my blending stump to do some of these folds. And I'm just using my reference photo to see where everything is and what it's doing. A lot of my lines that I drew earlier are kind of gone. I'm just going to have to guesstimate and kind of just do how it looks. It's not exact, but it's close enough. I can see that there's kind of a edge here that's white. And then there's a line in the middle, and there's lines going here where it folds. So I'm just going to kind of make those jot out, and then it's lighter on this edge. I'm definitely going to use some pencil to color in that, but right now, and see I've kind of, this is rubbing off so I don't have a lot of this left, so I think I'm going to start coloring where it's dark and get some more lead on my my blending stump. So see how it got the dark again. I'm doing this just so there's not just such sharp dark lines. It's just shadows. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of getting the feel of how that's wrinkled. Again, I'm getting some of that dark, picking it up. Now, this is same thing over here. I don't really see my guidelines, but I know kind of just by looking at the picture what needs to be done. And it's getting, I'm going to pick up some of this black so I can do some of the shadowing with the blending stump. And this is all pretty dark over here because it's under her hair. It's not real bright. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to go, and I'm not going to use my 8B because that's pretty dark. I think I'm going to use my 2B. And I'm going to sharpen it. So I pulled the lead out and stick it in here. And I'm going to carefully turn it and not break it, I hope. Oh, I just heard it break. Darn it. Ooh. All right, so did you see that? I just dropped a lot of that on there. It won't matter because this picture doesn't need this, but you can kind of blow it off and then, oops, erase it. And that's why it's smudged. Well, you might not have seen it. It was enlarged. All right, let me sharpen that again. Let's try that again. You can hear me sharpening, but I don't have it in front of there. All right, that's good enough. Okay, now I'm going to come back and kind of make these forms a little sharper. So it looks a little more realistic here. The clothes aren't always that important, but the more details you're able to put in, the more realistic it'll look and make your picture look really nice. And clothes aren't, like I said, aren't as important because if you don't do it exactly the way the picture is, it's still going to look like your granddaughter or whoever you're drawing. Whereas in a face, if you mess that up, it's not going to look like the person. So clothes are a lot less stress for me because they don't have to be exact. They just have to get a feel for it. Like these are a lot of wrinkles coming in. Some people don't even do the clothes. They just do really rough lines. But like I said, the more details you can get in it, the more it's going to look real and kind of make your picture pop and stand out more than other people's drawings. Okay. So they're just kind of loose. So now I'm coming over on this side, doing the same thing, kind of looking at my picture and just trying to do those forms. And I'm going to use my blending stump in the middle in a minute, so it doesn't matter that these look like pencil lines, because pretty soon it'll be all smooth. Okay, so now I'm going to use my blending stump and start smoothing that out. And it's not exactly what that is, but it's close. You kind of see it coming together. Like, oh yeah, that looks like that little thing. Okay, now I'm going to do this side, blend this side in. Okay, I'm kind of pleased with that. It's not a whole lot of detail, but it looks like ruffles. Now I'm going to come back and do some of the hair that got kind of messed up here, because I was having to draw the arms, and now we're doing some more wispy little lines. And over here I'm doing some wispy lines here, kind of some over here. Here. Let's see, I think I'll do some more down here. Okay, I also think I'm going to put some more white ones in here. It just makes it kind of more interesting. All right, now we're ready to do the background. So I'm going to pause it right here because I have to get the supplies ready for that. And I'm going to actually back that up so you can see it. Okay, so there's her body and her hair, and now we're going to do the background, which only takes like 2 minutes, but I am going to pause it at this point. Okay, I'm back, and now I'm going to demonstrate how I do the gray background. On this one, I'm going to make it, I just wanted a soft, nice look. So what I do is I get a paper plate, as you can see right here, paper plate, and then my shavings that I've done from my pencils, I open this, if I can, okay, then I dump that carbon out, or not carbon, graphite, and I get a cotton ball, so just a plain cotton ball, and I dip it in that graphite. Let me move this out of the way, and then I just start kind of circling it around, and I start at her head and work my way out in circles, so it's lighter on the outside, but darker toward her head. So that's what I do, and I dip it again if I need some more. And again, I just rub it in circles, kind of blend it in. Hopefully there aren't any thumbprints, greasy thumbprints, because that shows up on this. So far it looks okay. Okay, I'm going to do this side over here a little bit more. And now you can see some of those wispy lines I had drawn with the tool. Okay. Now I'm going to leave the bottom, I think. Oh, maybe I'll do it. I'm going to frame it so you're not going to see this bottom, but it's not going to hurt to just kind of bring her neck down and that down and just kind of rub it. Okay, now I see fingerprints down here. I don't know if you can see, but there's some fingerprints here. But that's okay, because that's not going to show, and I can erase that. In fact, I'm going to erase it right now. Getting this kneaded eraser, cleaning it, and I'm just going to kind of touch it down there. And I've got a weird looking pattern here, so I'm going to get my blending stump, a clean one. Just kind of rub it around, smooth that out. But like I said, it's not too important down there. But up here it is a bit more important. Okay, so I'm liking that. Now, but what I want is I want some more, now that I've got the background on there, I'm going to use my eraser and do some more blondish hairs here. Because there were some really wispy, nice flyaway hairs here. I'm not even looking at the reference, I'm just thinking this is how it probably looks. I'm just doing some up here, some around here, definitely a bunch right here. Okay, I think I'm going to do a few little ones up here because her hair isn't just perfect. No one's is it? All right, I think I'm pleased with that. Little black lines here. I think I'm pleased with that, so now I'm going to sign it. And since this is my granddaughter, I usually always sign it V. Knoll, because of course that's my name. But when it's my granddaughters and I know they're going to inherit this eventually, I write Nana. So my signature down here is going to be Nana, because that's who I am to them. So that's it, and I hope you enjoyed the lessons. I'll do some more lessons in the future. If you write to me on YouTube and ask some what you would like, you can also send me emails and let me know what you would like me to draw as a demonstration. My email, I'll have it down in the comments, but it's my name at AOL.com, so it's VICKIKNOLL at AOL.com. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Till next time, bye.